in the conversation with Rob, and I'm going to do like a quick intro for each one of them. Although Rob doesn't need an introduction, especially if you are somebody from the 80s, 90s kid who has seen him on television and all the great work that he has been doing. Um, to tell you all who are here, if you are one of the nominees in the design category, towards the end of this conversation, we are going to announce the top 5 winners. All winners receive a cash prize as well as 1 year Skillshare subscription for free. If you want to learn anything with respect to writing, design, video, filmmaking, whatever you want to learn, you can learn all of that for free for 1 year entirely. And plus, the first person in this category also gets a cash prize of 50,000 rupees. And we hope that this grant and these tools help you to upskill and skyrocket your content game and your creator journey. But quick intro to introduce you all. Adarsh is a visual communication designer at the Samsung team. He's also a very good friend of mine and keeps doing some great stuff on his Instagram with respect to some DIY activities and as well as travel. I personally enjoy watching his Instagram stories a lot. And I don't know if we need also like an intro for Rob, but let me just do that for the sake of the entire conversation here. He has inspired an entire generation of Indians to take up and pursue art. I think I just resemble and resonate art with your shows, Rob, and I think a lot of people here also resonate with that. Even before his television shows made him like a household name, Rob was working into animation and creating compelling content and designing his own creator journey. Today, he's in talks with Adarsh Paul about the path he took to become one of India's most recognizable and loved artists, and now how he will pass this legacy to the winners of Next Big Creators design category. I will hand over the mic now to Adarsh, and in case you folks need anything, just please put a question in the comment and we'll be there. Adarsh, over to you.
Thank you, Pawan.
Thanks, Pawan. Thanks for the introduction. A very warm welcome to you, Rob. Thanks a lot for taking all the time to join the session today. Also, a very warm welcome to all the viewers we have on board today. I am sure that everyone is looking forward to get some valuable feedback and insight from the journey you have had so far. I hope you are in good health and doing well. Everything is fine at your end.
Yes, doing well. I was just reading all the comments, the lovely comments that we are getting. Thank you
Right.
guys so much for everyone who's tuning in. Means a lot. You guys are
So
writing really kind words. Thank you.
it's definitely not a surprise that we have a huge fan following of you here. So Rob, you have, like Pawan mentioned, that you are an inspiration and role model for millions of creators across the globe, and the kind of quality content you bring on table, and especially the variety of content you bring on table, is like just mind blowing. But as a content creator, you started your journey way back when content creation platforms and even content sharing platforms were not fully realized. So can you talk us about? Can you give a sneak peek about your journey as a creator and how you shaped up your content with changing times and changing trends?
Yeah, sure. Yes, I started long back. Um, Actually, being in front of the camera and like hosting was accidental. I never thought like कौन सोचता है यार कि खुद का टीवी शो होगा so I also had no plans like that but I always wanted to tell stories. I wanted to make content. I went to a design school. I studied filmmaking, so I also always wanted to get into making films or making my own series. In fact, that's what I was doing in Bombay. I was working with animation studios, so I also always wanted to create my own characters and tell stories through them. Just so happened that I got an opportunity like M.A.D, where I was asked to create and host a show. A big life-changing moment for me happened there because it was a big switch from making animation content to now designing and hosting a show. So it was a big risk or a gamble, I'll say, because I was doing fairly well in my animation space. Like everyone knew what I was doing because animation, at least at back then, it was a very small community.
Right.
Everyone knew my name. Everyone knew the kind of work I was doing. So it was a big risk for me to leave all of that and enter a completely new space because I had never been in front of the camera. Like I knew how content is made, but I was never facing the camera. But decided to like, you know, I decided to like fully jump in and try it out. And when I saw like the feedback that we got, and when I saw the impact that it was making on people's life, um, and how they said that their lives completely changed after watching the show because it encouraged them to choose a more creative career path, or it just encouraged them to be more creative. That was really motivating for me, and that pushed me to make more and more content. And even when I transitioned from television to digital, the aim was same. The idea was to just encourage people to be more creative, show them the possibilities of art and design, show them that, art is not just a hobby. There are different avenues. So I was trying to open more doors, show them different like possibilities and change the mindset, of, of, of the people a little bit,
Right.
because for me there were many challenges when I started my journey, so I didn't want that to happen to the new generation. And I feel very happy when I see messages like these. I get so many DMs, people telling me, how after watching the show they decided to pursue a creative career path. So it's very rewarding. Uh, and yeah, since then, my aim has been the same. Like I make content that is entertaining, but also educational. It makes you think differently. It makes you think out of the box. So yeah.
Great to hear that, Rob. And like you mentioned that when you hear that people looked at you and started their creative journey, I'm one of them. I have been like a huge fan.
Thanks, man.
I have been like following your journey since when Matt started. So yeah, I can totally relate to that. So Rob, talking about content creation in today's date, I mean we know that ultra short storytelling is something which has been trending because there's so much content out there, and creators intend to create content which they want to engage people in a very short frame of time. So what do you think as a content creator today's creators should focus on to make their work stand out in that crowd?
See, I always believe content is king. So, first of all, you need to focus on what you're putting out. That is very important. So, what story, because every content piece that you put out needs to have a story.
Right.
What helps is like, if I definitely feel that every artist brings in a bit of their personality to their work.
Right.
So over a period or over time, like if you have collected more experiences, information, and you're putting that out, because people are also not just buying your content, but they're buying into your story. They want to see what you're putting out, so your content has to be engaging. Don't do what others are doing. I see, even when I'm trying to pick a trend, because now on Instagram everyone is doing, I always have my own twist to a trend. I don't do the same thing that everyone else is doing.
Right.
So you need to stand out. You need to think of ideas that are different. I definitely say this to young creators, that because you're young, you have the luxury of making mistakes. So experiment with your content. Try new things. They say these days, like the first 5 to 10 seconds of your content. You know, I'm not saying make clickbait content, but it has to be engaging. You need to hook people in.
Right.
And once they are there, the content or the story should be substantial, that now they will watch it till the end. That's very important. That's what I'm saying, content is king. So your stories should be very engaging. So it doesn't matter. Like for me, I thought I would make films, an hour-long film. I moved into television, which was half an hour format. Moving into YouTube, which was 10 to 12 minute videos. Moving to Instagram, which was like a minute to 3 minute long. And now I'm making like reels and shorts, which are 15 to 30 seconds. So it doesn't matter, how short the whole storytelling format becomes. What is important is what kind of story you're putting out.
Great. Uh, that was the reason why I started with the question of, how you have shaped up your content with the changing trends. And it's very interesting to know that. Also, when we talk about content creation, it's not as easy as it sounds. Like for aspiring artists and designers, people content creation has its own challenges. For example, having some kind of creative block. As a creator, as an artist, what suggestion or feedback you want to give out to the creators to overcome these challenges?
A creative block. I see. I feel it's very important for people to take breaks, man. Like what happens is I think we live in a world like even for me now, like we have to put content out every day. Otherwise, the algorithm won't pick your content and won't show it to your followers or viewers. So everyone is just chasing this. Oh, I have to put a video every single day. So I have to think of a quick idea. I have to. That happens a lot, and
Right.
most people feel like a burnout after a time. What is
Right.
important is to maintain a healthy sort of balance. You know,
Right.
yeah, creativity is not like ये calendar है एक schedule है कि मेरे को 5 से 6 बजे एक idea आएगा 6 से 7 बजे I'll shoot it उसके बाद 7 से 8 बजे I edit it 10 बजे मैं डाल दूंगा 12 बजे तक it'll go viral. It doesn't happen like that. So I know your mind is always working, it's always active, but you need to give it a break. Like for example, you go to a gym, 5 days you'll work out, you'll see your muscles forming, but after that your trainer will say now you take a break. Give rest to your body. Same way you need to give rest to your brain. You give rest to your mind. Disassociate with whatever you're doing. It also gives you a clearer picture when you come back. So taking breaks is very, very important. If you do that, it helps you clear your mind. Whatever is clogged up, it'll help you clear that out, and you can see, more clearly. So that helps. But for a lot of people, it also happens not because there's an overload of information, but it's also there's no information. So
Right.
the second thing is I'll say whenever you're stepping out, if you're young, you're starting out, collect as much information as you can. My mantra is observe and absorb. So whenever you're going out, keep your eyes and ears open. See whatever is around you, keep absorbing. Treat your brain like a library, which is storing this information. So whenever you have a client brief, whenever you have a new video to put out, a new artwork to make, you can just walk into any aisle and pick up the idea you want. It should be like that. So if you have a lot of information, take break. If you're feeling I don't have any ideas, just step outside and just go for a walk, go for a run, swim, pick up your phone, call a friend, just clear your mind, just take a break, relax, meditate.
Right. So basically, do things which helps you unwind and take a break from your usual work. Also, I wanted to ask you around that. We understand that even the smallest of the videos or the content which you create, the creators create, it involves a whole lot of effort and process behind the scenes. And at times the audience on the other side, they might not realize that how much of effort has gone behind making that 30-second reel or 30-second content. So and usually creators would want to have that kind of feedback or that kind of excitement coming from the other side as well, for in terms of appreciation or comments and things like that. So how do you deal with that? And can you give us like a sneak peek of what all goes behind the scenes when you create these awesome creations?
First of all, thanks for noticing that because I get a lot of like brand inquiries where they say they want to make a big picture or a big installation. It's like we have only one day, and I'm like it doesn't work like that. Just because you see a 2 minute edit where I'm creating something massive or grand doesn't mean that it just takes few hours to create it. Yes, the making process might take few hours, but the planning takes a lot of time. So for every video I put out, there is a little process that I follow. Right from ideation. First of all, like I said, there is no schedule or a calendar कि अभी बैठ गए नया video डालना है तो idea आ गया. That process, that's like an ongoing process. Every time I'm out, I'm traveling out with my friends, any idea that I get, either I jot it down here or put it down when I come back, if I have a journal or on my phone. So you should have like a good bank of ideas. So for me, that is my first step whenever I get a brief or if I have to put a video out. Then once my idea is selected and I know what story I want to tell, I try and break it down. You know, keeping in mind what platform I'm putting it on or who my target audience is, because that's very important. Like Instagram is a platform where people are spending time to just scroll. They just want to be entertained. But
Right.
YouTube as a platform, encourages people to spend more time. So you want to watch a documentary, you want to watch a tutorial, you want to watch a movie. So see what your audience want, what your niche is, what your target audience is. Then you start building on your story. Once I have the flow, then I basically create small doodles, like you know, even This is a calendar, but I just doodled it because I was just shooting a reel right now.
Right.
Um, so I storyboard it, even if it's a very basic storyboard, so that my videographer who's shooting with me knows exactly what we are doing. So because I shoot a lot of stuff myself, but the shots where I am in, I have someone to shoot. So they know exactly what my flow is, what is my frame, my composition. So that's very important for me, like a sort of like a visual language of my story. That also helps me with the edit. So when I'm sitting down for the edit, if I'm there, obviously I can direct him and tell him what I want and where we can edit. But on days when I'm shooting something else, or if I'm out, my storyboard helps him, figure out what the flow is, what the story is. We pick a nice track that sort of complements my visuals or amplifies them. Once that is done, I keep it, spend some time reviewing it to see whether it's working or not, whether the hook is working or not, the first 3 to 5 seconds are engaging or not. Otherwise, I make little tweaks here and there to my edit. And same goes if I'm doing for a brand. Once it's done, I watch it a couple of times. If I feel it's ready, I send it out for approval of a feedback. Very rarely I get any feedback, but if there is any, we incorporate, make the changes, and then the video is ready to put it out. So it is a slightly long process, um, but yeah, till now it's been working for me.
Great. So I'm sure that for our viewers who are not aware of the amount of effort and work which goes behind creating this content, this is like a very nice behind the scenes sneak peek. Uh, so Rob, with the changing times, they have we have like seen uh, people getting influenced with like a lot of creation platforms which are inclined towards technology. You have like more and more automated platforms coming up which helps people to create content. Do you think because of that reason, DIY or let's say a creator, content enthusiast, they are moving away from a very hands-on approach, or do you think that change is for the good?
I mean, change is inevitable. मतलब change तो आना ही है यार. I don't think it will completely go because the joy you get from making stuff, creating stuff, or even picking up or buying something that is handmade, you know, that cannot be matched with something that you're just watching on screen. Just the feel of it when you touch the texture and the things like that. That's why I work. I love working with the materials. Like I've started doing a lot of stop motion animation for my reels, and it takes a lot of time. Like going back to the same question, like you know it takes a hell lot of time to make a 15-second, 20-second piece. But I enjoy it so much, I don't mind doing it. I mean, I can choose a simpler way, doing something on Photoshop and just moving things around on Premiere or After
Right.
Effects. But I really enjoy working with materials, and I think for most creators, it is like that. And yes, the change will happen. There are pros, there are cons. I mean, like if you see back in the days, people used to paint canvases, people used to paint giant murals using oil paints. You know, it changed to people making murals on streets with like spray cans doing graffiti. So the tools keep
Right.
changing. And now, though digital, maybe some people are losing touch from actual tools, materials, but it also is helping artists to connect with other creators. Now the world is a click away. So you don't need to have an actual gallery to exhibit your work. You
Right.
can easily exhibit it on Instagram or any other platform like that, or even your video content. You don't need to have a television show like I had to showcase my work. You can start your own channel. So there are a lot of pros to the change in technology. So I really don't think it will completely go away. I think people will still, because as I don't know, as humans, as artists, we enjoy working with our hands. So I think it will stay. But technology will maybe, like now, it's getting a lot more attention and notice. And that's why the youngster, it makes your job easy. Like, the control Z is a very helpful command because when I'm doing watercolors, when I'm doing paint, there is no control Z. So I have to think twice before putting an application. But on Photoshop, I can do control Z and just start again. So that helps you a lot too.
Yeah, and as per my knowledge, there's no controls that when you do stop motion because you have to like go frame by frame, start from scratch. But
Exactly.
the entire experience of actually working with materials, having all those senses, and when you see that thing coming alive, is definitely like great. And
Right.
I totally see that in your creations. Like all of us enjoy what you make. Recently, I saw the cardboard crane which you had created using that mechanical thing, which was like amazing, right?
Thank you.
So, Rob, you were the design jury for the design category in NBC. So, how did you find going through all the entries and all the works across, submitted across the India? Like, how did you find those works from different creators?
It was very exciting, man. And very lovely to see so much fresh talent. I always enjoy, you know, I talk about this a lot. Like my transition from TV to digital, I could have chosen to be back on TV with another show, but when I started attending certain festivals and I saw the amount of fresh talent, young creators that were on YouTube and other digital platforms, I wanted to be in that space because it's really inspiring. So to go through all the entries, it was very inspiring for me because whenever I see youngsters, they don't shy away from experimenting. So there were a lot of different entries with different styles, very unique styles, different mediums. So yeah, it was fun looking at all the entries, and just like I'm so happy that there are so many creators or people who have chosen like a creative career path. So
Right.
it was very exciting to see.
Great, great. So I was like, when Pawan told me that, okay, you have like 30 minutes with Rob and you have to like, come up with some questions for him. I was like, 30 minutes just too less because, I've been following his journey like for so long. I would need at least like 2 or 3 hours to kind of, interact with him because I have so many questions. But some other time, definitely. Uh, Before we move on to Q&A, one last question I would want to ask you is that, any three things you would want to suggest today's aspiring creators to follow or keep in mind when when they create the content?
Three things: persistence, hard work, because there's no substitute. You have to put in the hours. It's very important to work hard. And third would be have fun. Yeah, like I said, take breaks, have fun, because I know what happens these days, because everyone is working so hard, this whole hustle culture. Nobody wants to have fun because they feel guilty. कि बा अरे आज मैं ब्रेक ले लूंगा, आज मैं अपने फ्रेंड्स के साथ रहूंगा, मैंने आज वीडियो नहीं डाला, मैंने आज पोस्ट नहीं डाला, तो यार एल्गोरिथम मेरा कंटेंट सपोर्ट नहीं करेगा. So they really feel guilty कि अभी मैं ये कुछ कर रहा हूँ तो it's not right. But it's very important to have fun. Try out new things, go to new places. I don't know, try new dishes. Spend time with your friends, your colleagues, because you learn a lot from them. You learn a lot from their experiences, and all your experiences, your experiments, your explorations, your adventures, they make you who you are. And like I said, that your work showcases your personality too, so you have to make sure that your personal life or your personality is enriched with all these experiences, क्योंकि बहुत important होता है यार, like the things that I've done in my college with my friends, वो सब अभी मैं use करता हूँ, all those
Right.
experiences अभी वो unfold होते हैं मेरे मेरे काम में. So it's very important to have fun also. Learn from your friends, learn from their mistakes, learn from their experiences. Just enjoy life. Also, because at this stage, you can experiment a lot. You can make a lot of mistakes. You can take risks because you are young. आपके पास टाइम है आगे जाके यही मिस्टेक्स को फिक्स करने का या फिक्स करके इम्प्रूव करके आगे जाने का. Once you reach my stage, there are a lot of responsibilities. You're fixed with the kind of things you do. एक्सपेरिमेंट करने का मौका नहीं मिलता है. So at this stage, just try out new things and have fun. Yes, yeah,
Very
those
nicely put, Rob. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So basically, we have almost near the end of the session, and I remember watching Rob's very first episode of M.A.D, and I've been following his videos. The kind of passion he has when he makes his stuff, and he even talks about it, it's very contagious, and that is what all the creators and everyone who is in this creative field kind of relates to him, which definitely explains why he has such a huge fan following. So thanks a lot for answering all our questions and interacting with us, Rob. Pawan, do we have time to pick any questions from the audience, or do we move on to the winner and answer?
If you want, I can squeeze in the time for one question. So any question that Rob wants to pick from the Q&A tab, or others, if you want to help him pick.
First of all, thank you, Adarsh. This was a fun session. Let's pick a question. Um, Many of the artists in there would great advice, have fun, true, true, true. Mm,
Here's one, if I can suggest,
yes, please.
if you can pick up. By Ruxana, she's asking, you're already an established creator. Do you too get pressured to make content just for the sake of consistency? Because I know you spoke about taking breaks and enjoying the whole process of it. But do you also get pressured or find it difficult to be consistent at it? How is it for you?
Yeah, there are days. Yeah, there are days when I don't feel like because feel like making content. It's very different because when I used to make content for television, it was you shoot a whole season and you're done with it, and then they play it out every Sunday, so you get your break. I used to shoot like plan a season, shoot it for 3 months ka like a 3 month process it would be from pre-production to shoot, and then we would get like post production chal raha tha, the edit वगैरह, then I was free to do whatever I want. I could travel, do things. But now because of YouTube and Instagram and the algorithm, you have to make content every day. So there are days when I feel like बहुत हो गया यार, like now how can I keep putting out content, because it's like every day you're doing something. But the interesting or the fun thing is that, like I said, if you're experimenting with new stuff, so it doesn't get monotonous. So every day then it becomes exciting. So I try and go through my journal and see if I can pick up exciting ideas. Like now I've gone back to doing stop motion animation, which I studied back when I was in design school. And because of television and because of posting and because of many other things, वो थोड़ा back burner पे चला गया था. But now it's back, so you can do things like that. And so whenever you feel a little pressure, either you take a break, which I do. Most people don't realize what I do is sometimes if the content is simple, I end up shooting 2-3 reels together. And then I take a break for couple of days, but my content is already scheduled. It's like that. So, and I try and keep like my techniques and my ideas a little varied. So थोड़ा experiment करता रहता हूँ ताकि monotonous ना हो, ताकि रोज थोड़ा exciting हो. You need to have, this is my passion, yeah. So you need to every day do something that you're enjoying. वरना तो फिर मजा ही नहीं आएगा ना. Why did you choose this? अगर आप
Yeah.
इसी को ना पसंद करोगे तो फिर
Yeah. And I think the planning of it is really important, and it just helps you, then to be consistent. If you like plan it well, structure it well, then it shouldn't be.
But you can't plan so much in advance also. I used to do that earlier. But I realized, the trends keep changing.
Hmm.
Some new song will come out, a new trend will come out. If you make a content piece after 5 days, that idea or that concept is not really relevant because something else is
Yeah.
trending at that time. So it's very difficult to compete with that. So मैं बहुत लंबा plan नहीं करता हूँ. Like I don't plan like a whole week or 15 days in advance कि अभी आगे क्या आने वाला है. It's like maximum 2 days to 3 days within a week. So if I know
Got it.
like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I want to take a break. I want to go to a nice whatever waterfall somewhere, or go for a drive. So on the Monday, Tuesday, I have to work slightly extra, to keep my content ready so that my long weekend is free. It's like that.
Yeah. Got it. I think great. Thanks, others, for asking this such great questions, and thanks, Rob, for answering them. I'm going to take the next 2 minutes to share my screen and announce the winners of Next Big Creators Design category. I just first want to know how many of you in the chat here who are attending this conversation, are you one of the nominees in the design category? Just type in yes so that we know. Um, I think Nihal. Okay, there are so many yeses.
Oh yes, yes,
Uh,
yes.
yeah, I hope somebody is also saying not a nominee but just a fan of Rob. I think there are so many people who will agree with this. And trust me, when we were seeing our tweets and social mention, people were like, "No, we want to be there to listen to Rob." But I'm going to take the next 2 minutes to share my screen and do the winner announcements of the design category. So to give you all a little bit of context also, we are announcing the design category winners right now. And in total, we had more than 10,000 nominations in all 6 different categories, out of which writing had the most number, but the second highest was in the design segment, out of which we then using public voting decided like who are the top 300 folks. And if any nominations were incomplete profile and all of those things, then we had to just select the top 300 folks, which then go to the jury to evaluate. These are comic artists, graphic designers, illustrators, doodle artists. It was whole new categories of designers that we also did not know, and we were like, oh, this is also very unique. So it was a very diverse bunch of people. And the fifth, I'll start from who is the fifth like ranking in this category. The fifth winner is Ashish Khatri. I'm not sure if Ashish, you are here in the chat. But if any of your friends, or if you are friends with Ashish, please just take a screenshot of this. Tell him that you have won in the next big creators design category. Just tell him to come right at the summit and just ask him to DM us. The fourth rank is to Mehak. Mehak, if you are here, just please DM us in the chat, or if any of you are friends of Mehak, just tell her she's also one of the winners. The third is Drishti. Drishti, I think Drishti is here in the chat, but if not, we'll connect with her once again. And if you're friends with Drishti, just please send a screenshot of this. All the winners of every category will get a cash grant as well as 1 year of Skillshare subscription for free. You can learn from 35,000 courses for the entire year for free. So we're giving you all the tools that you need to upskill and get better at your content game and be like a great creator, designer, and artist. We're just facilitating and helping you to achieve that. Also, Rob plays a big role in this for us to help us identify these top creators. Thanks, Rob, once again for being the jury here. Going to who the second winner is. Kavya Desai, if you are also here, if you are friends with Kavya, just tell him he has won. And now coming to the first winner who will receive a cash grant of 50,000 rupees along with other subscriptions and tools. It is Soumya Raj Vishwakarma. Soumya, if you are here, just ping us in the chat, or if you're friends with Soumya, tell her, call her, WhatsApp her, and tell her that she has won the first prize in the design category of Next Big Creator Awards. That's it. Those are the next 5 big creators in the design category for this year. Thank you so much, Rob, for helping us find that creator in the design category. If the winners are here, please just drop in. Yes, I am the winner. We will be here to congratulate all of you. But thank you so much, lovely people, for attending this. And thanks also, Adarsh and Rob, for being there in this conversation. Rob, do you have any closing tips that you want to share, or any congratulations for the winners?
Yeah, I want to congratulate everyone. And in fact, like I said, when Adarsh asked me about the whole, being on the jury, it was a difficult process, but it was very exciting also, to look at so many different styles and different creators and artists. And I'm very happy here. Like you rightly said, कि इतने सारे लोग, इतने सारे different styles, it's for me personally, I feel very happy because I feel that, in some way, my aim was to change the mindset and make people choose more creative career paths. And now to see, so many people becoming artists and designers and illustrators, it's very rewarding here. So I was very happy. Thank you for the opportunity. And I'm very inspired looking at all the styles. I'll definitely follow some. And maybe in future we can have some fun collaborations.
Wow.
And the ones who didn't win, guys, it was very difficult to choose, and you all were amazing. Just keep at it. जैसे मैंने बोला, persistence and hard work. तो सबके पास एक ना एक opportunity आती है life में, and you will get yours. So just keep at it so that you are prepared when you hear that knock. That's all I can say. And have fun, yeah. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, everyone. And congratulations to all the winners. Once again, thanks, Rob, for being the jury and also doing this session with us. Thank you so much, Adarsh, for all your curious and insightful questions at this panel today. Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.
Thanks.
Take care.
Thanks.
Thank you,
Bye
Pawan.
bye.
Thank you, Adarsh. Thank you so much.